I'm Gary Barker. I am the priest for Christ Episcopal Church, rector of Christ Church, and vicar of St. Luke's Church, the priest for the county of Isle of Wight, and for the parish that is known as Newport Parish. Those are the two names that connect us together, Newport and Isle of Wight. We are not an isle, but the people who came here that you all are celebrating today decided to name this place after home. And so we are Isle of Wight County and Newport Parish. The church we now call Old St. Luke's is the oldest standing church of English origin that has stood the test of time in the United States. It was founded in 1632, about a year and a half or so probably after the folks from Isle of Wight left and came here to the colony, and so it's very likely that they were the ones to find the church. We don't have any records from that time, so we're not sure. The church was at that time probably known simply as Old Brick, and the people who came must have liked old fashions. They decided to build a church that was in an English village Gothic style. And someone along the way that perhaps came with them was very interested in the brickwork of the people of Belgium and Holland, because the brickwork is a little unusual for an English church. The bricks themselves were made here in the county, or what was then known as a shire, the Shire of Isle of Wight, and so the church was built. And then the way that people traveled in those days in this part of the world was nearly always by boat. There is some water right next to St. Luke's, and the easiest way to get to the church was to come by way of boat. There were not any highways for wagons at all, and so it was difficult traveling on land here, which is often rather swampy. And so people came by boat, but by 200 years after the founding of St. Luke's Church, the town of Smithfield had come to be, named after another town called Smithfield, just outside of London, and known for some old history about burning of bishops and things, which had taken place in the Restoration time. The Smithfield had become an active place of commerce. It's on a river, and the people of faith that worshipped at Old Brick Church or St. Luke's felt they needed to move into town. A man who had been born and grown up in Spain but was living in the States donated money to build a church in town, and property was found right downtown at the top of Water Street, which was the place where all the commerce was, and at the corner of Church Street in Maine. So smack dab in the middle of things, Christ Church was built in 1832. in a Spanish style with stucco, after the style that the man who donated the money desired. And the congregation from Old Brick Church moved into town. Old Brick Church was simply abandoned for a time. Not too long after people moved into Smithfield, we had something here we call the Civil War, and the Old Brick Church was used as a hospital and as a stable through parts of the war by both the North and the South. And so it was in great disarray until the middle of the 20th century, when a group came together and realized they needed to do something with Old Brick Church, and so they restored it. And since then, it has been used for worship and is also a stop for history buffs, and our people at Christ Church worship there a number of times a year. On behalf of the people of Isle of Wight County here in Virginia, and especially on behalf of the people of Newport Parish, and the faithful people of St. Luke's and Christ Church, we send our love and blessing to you all, and pray that you will have great success in your work at your minster, and very grateful for the chance to be a part of this celebration. May the peace of God be with you. This is St. Luke here at St. Luke's Church. Since we were going to read from his Gospel today, I thought you might want to see our statue of St. Luke, who is fabled as creating the first icon in the Eastern Orthodox Church, and also fabled as being a lover of animals, as well as being, of course, the author of the Gospel and the Acts of the Apostles.
I'm Zachary. This is a reading from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 18, beginning with verse 15. People were bringing even infants to him, that he might touch them. And when the disciples saw it, they sternly ordered them not to do it. But Jesus called for them and said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not stop them. For it is to such as these that the kingdom of God belongs. Truly, I tell you, whoever does not receive this kingdom of God as a little child will never enter it."